Assalamualaikum everyone. Good evening. We will start our session very soon. Just waiting for our postgraduate student to enter as well, and some of the year three. Okay, we're just gonna give a minute before we start. For postgraduate, the new postgraduates, you are most welcome to attend. Seniors, you may attend if you want to know or get something clarified. You can ask questions later on or during the session, okay? Okay, maybe we can start now. So everyone, year three students and also some of new postgraduate students. What we are going to do tonight or this evening, is to introduce you how to use iDeRMS for your clinical usage. Okay. So first of all, I will introduce you what is iDeRMS and also the team members, and also to brief you a little bit iDeRMS before we go for training. So it's a good idea for you to use your own laptop to do the training tonight, so that you know exactly what need to do by using the hands-on approach. Okay. So let's start with this briefing. Can you guys hear me, my voice? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So let's move on. So the team for iDeRMS, as you know, we have a mixture of team from Shah Alam and also from Sungai Buloh. I'm the project director for the iDeRMS, and we have Cik Nazifas, who is in the level 3 of our IT office in the Faculty of Dentistry. And then the rest of the team members are in Shah Alam, UITM Shah Alam. Okay. As you probably notice, or some of you do notice, that iDeRMS has some variants. Okay, some variants. The one that I'm going to introduce you tonight is the main iDeRMS. We call iDeRMS, and then we have iDeRMS Executive for Amethyst Clinic. We will launch very soon iDeRMS Connect and also iDeRMS Passport. iDeRMS Passport is an apps, mobile apps for our patient to use, so they can check in through iDeRMS Passport later on, and they can pay through iDeRMS Passport as well. And then we're going to have iDeRMS Connect, which will make things easier for our private practice to refer the patient to us later on. And then we have iDeRMS Analytic for research. We have iDeRMS Plus for our lecturers to do scan the QR code for your work. Later on, I will mention. And then in few years' time, we will have iDeRMS Edge for students, okay? The mobile app for students that we will develop soon. Okay, so these are the variants of iDeRMS that you will probably see later on. And then, as I mentioned just now, there are some specific uses for every variant. The one I'm using right now is, I'm going to show you soon, is the main iDeRMS, which will be used by lecturer, students, and dental auxiliaries, which is the dental nurse, DSAs, technicians, X-rays, and all. Okay, whereas iDeRMS Passport only for the patients, iDeRMS Analytics for researchers, iDeRMS Plus for lecturers, iDeRMS Executive for lecturer and auxiliaries, iDeRMS Connect for auxiliaries and also patients, for iDeRMS Edge only for students. Okay. And as you probably are aware, if some of you doing the research about the medical softwares, So our team is trying to comply with all these standards put up by the committees, international committees, so that we are at par with their products or with their requirement, especially from the WHO. Okay, so the key elements for the operating framework, we have patient record management, we have clinical support system, which is X-ray, prosthetic lab, histopathology lab. Okay, those are the clinical support system. We have clinical logbook, and we have executive reporting system, which your lecturers are using as well. And then we have the last one, we have assessment performance appraisal. We are trying to enhance this format soon. And then, as you can see from the patient record, you will see a lot of things going on in the patient records. We have examination E&D, we have charting, consent, treatment plan, progress notes, specialized record, and photo gallery. For the patient management part, we have assignment, patient requests that the student can use, profile, appointment, waiting list, and patient recall system. Okay. Apart of that, we have also academic segment of items, whereby we have logbooks for both preclinical and clinical. For undergraduates, you're going to have around 72 logbooks that you need to complete to finish up the program by year 5. And then we have assessment, which is competency or skill based. All right. And then your lecturer will be using progress report to monitor your progress every day, every month, or every week. Okay, and it can be generated by mentor, by discipline, and also by procedure. Okay, the clinical support, as I mentioned just now, we have pharmacy, radiology, histopathology, and prosthetic lab. However, prosthetic lab we will launch very soon. The system is ready, but we need to clarify a few things with our prosthodontic or restorative department so that we can have seamless operation for the prosthetic lab. Okay, so clinical support you can also use. You will be using a lot of radiology as an undergraduate student. For postgraduate, you'll be using a lot pharmacy, radiology, prosthetic lab, and histopathology altogether. As you will see later on, the uses type for items, you can see from the drop down menu later on. We have lecturers, dental student, undergraduate, dental student, postgraduate, DSA, dental therapist, medical nurse, radiographer, medical lab technologist, pharmacist, clerk, finance, and dentist. So all the users have a different or specific entry point or usage. So none of them, some of them might have some restrictions when you enter the items. For students, you have limited what we call this access. So you only access to the patient's record who are assigned to you only. Okay. So if we do not assign patient to you, you will not be able to see patient. Only lecturers and dental officers can see all patients' record. Okay, but not dental student, undergraduate, and postgraduate students. So when you are assigned as a patient, you will be able to view their records online through items. Okay. These are the important issues that I will highlight through the training in a second. Okay, so you will, if I tell you this, you might not understood what's going on. So I will show you what we're gonna uh, highlight during the training. Okay, so I hope everyone ready with your laptop. Okay, and then we will try to get in. Okay, so everyone try to log into this our training platform using the address on the screen. The first pop-up window, you should put username as items, password is item test, and then when the landing page or the login page appears, please put your username as your student ID, and the password should be from your student portal, undergraduate and postgraduate. Okay, try to do that. Okay, Cik Fas has put up the link on the chat. You can just click on the chat there. I will unshare these slides and I will share you the actual items, the items training. Okay. Okay. I will share with you. So I'm gonna enter as a student. Okay. Is everybody ready? Okay. Can you put in the chat box if you are unable to enter to this stage? Everyone should be able to enter to this login page. Okay. So please choose as a student. So you see the drop-down menu here. There are lecturers, student, nurse, blah, blah, blah. So choose as a student. So I'm going to enter as a student from our mock account. Okay. And then press sign in. When you press sign in, you will be brought to the dashboard, student dashboard. So you will see something like this. Okay. Um, can anyone tell us if you have a problem with in the chat? Anyone managed to get in? Yes, no, yes, no. Can you put in the chat yes or no? Just gonna wait for a while until everybody uh, get in. Okay, everyone, yes. So the year three student shouldn't be a problem because you've been using this for your preclinical. Okay, preclinical. All right, so when you enter this, you will see the dashboard and student profile. So your dashboard will tell you some of the important, what we call this, data. You will see my current patients, today's appointment, today's treatment. So my current patient means how many patients that who have been assigned to you. So usually, undergraduate student, your patient will probably not more than 120 patients by the end of year five. Okay. For postgraduate student, maybe you will have up to 300 to 400 patients by the end of your program. And then the next one is today's appointment. If you have appointment, if you log in to your items, you will see how many patients that you have booked for the appointment on that day. And then if you have done the treatment, it will show you here. Okay. And then you will have sort of like a bird's eye view of your performance based on the preclinical and clinical logbook. So you can study that how is your progress every single time you log in. Okay, so you can see the preclinical logbook and clinical logbook. And down here, if you enlarge a little bit, it will be much better view. So you can see your performance throughout the whole logbook. Okay, and you can see all the legends there. All right, so that is the dashboard. If you look at the um, if you look at the menu on the left side, okay, click the three rows there, three bar line. You will see the whole menu. All right. So as a student, you will have my patient dashboard that we are seeing right now. We have new patients, new, and we have future appointment. So what does new tells you is if you have been assigned a new patient, it will show up in this chapter, in this page up to 3 months after assignment. Okay, so once your patient has been assigned, a new patient been assigned, it will shows up here, and then after 3 months, it will disappear and will go to the assigned patient down here. Okay, the reason why we are doing this is just to make you aware you have new assigned patients. Okay, and then if you make appointment for your patient, it will shows up in the future appointment. So if you don't make any appointment, it will not shows up here. Okay. So just for you to help you out with your as a reminder, perhaps. Okay. And then we're gonna go to the patient management. All right. So in the patient management, we have four menus, which is assigned patient, current patient, patient request list, and patient recall list. Patient request list is not applicable for postgraduate student, if I'm not mistaken, only for undergraduate students. Postgraduate, if you want to request a patient, you may see your postgraduate director or clinical coordinator directly. Okay, so let's look at the assigned patient first. If you click assign patient, okay, if you click assign patient, um, you will see the list of assigned patient to you. So you can click all these numbers, all this RN, then you will see the patient record. Okay, and the next one is current visit. So the current visit is the data whereby it will shows you who shows up for today's visit and who has appointment for today's for the whole faculty, not just for you. So if today we have 200 appointments, it will shows up 200 appointment here. Okay, and then if the patient is registered, you can go to the visit here. Maybe fast boleh letak few here later on. Okay, um, this one is for the current visit. And then we have patient request list for dental student, undergraduate dental student. Okay, when you want to have a patient, you can request your patient through this page. So you click request patient. Yes. Oh, tak ada orang. Okay. When you click request patient, your name will appear here. Okay, your name will appear here. And then you can choose what type of patient that you like to request. You can request more than one patient. Okay, so for example here, if I want to request ICDAS 56, and then number of patient I would like to have 2, and then remarks is maybe the remarks could be anything, urgent, something like that, and submit. When you submit, your mentor, your clinical mentor from the comprehensive care department will see this list, and they should say approve or not. So they will approve by QR code here. Okay, if you click from your account, there is a button. It's called QR code button, and there is another one, remove. Okay, you can remove your request. If you make a wrong request, you can just remove. If not, you can generate the QR code, and you can send this QR code to your lecturer so that they can approve um, any time actually. Okay, but please do ask them during office hours or maybe in the evening before late. Okay, before 9 p.m. or perhaps. Okay, so try to give this QR code for the approval. So this QR code will appear for all procedures later on. So you will see this QR code will appear on progress notes, treatment plan, and also other requests like X-ray and histopathology. Okay, so this is the request list. So once your mentor has approved, then our patient management team at the clinical unit will assign the patient to you if the patient is available. Okay, and you will see your request will be removed here once the patient has been assigned, I think. Okay. Next, after that, after the patient request, we have patient recall list. Patient recall list is when you're going to put the patient in here when you have finished your patient for all the treatment. So, for example, you have completed the treatment, nothing to do. So you can put this patient for comprehensive care. Sometimes patient is coming from pediatric, sometimes patient coming from special care dentistry. Most of you will be coming from comprehensive care. And type of recall is routine dental checkup. So you can put the month bila, when, which is like 6 months from now. And then if you don't have provider, you don't have to, then you put select provider. If you have, if not, they just submit. Okay. Recall this. Hang on. First, the generate report button. Okay, supposedly ada submit button here. Oh, this one recall report is lain. You will see this patient recall also in appointment list, in the patient list. This one for us to generate a report actually. Okay. Um, Lepas tu, hang on ya. Any questions so far?
Dia cuba back balik.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Oh, I'm fast. Apa fast? Okay, kejap Uh, alright, back balik. Okay, request list, recall list. Hang on ya. Okay, so tadi nanti we will see again the recall list in the patient management. Okay, sekarang ni I tak appear apa-apa sekarang ni. Okay, my patient, my menu hilang pula. Let me just, provider is a user. Okay, provider is user. Like lecturer, dental student, undergraduate, postgraduate, that is provider. Okay, so you are as a provider. Provider literally means a healthcare provider. Okay, so that is the meaning of provider. So the one that assign patient to you is clinical mentor, your clinical mentor. I believe you have been briefed who is your clinical mentor. Is that correct? You know your clinical mentor? Okay, I'm just going to log out for a while and then log in balik. Yes or no? Year 3, have you been assigned to the clinical mentor? Do you know? Yes, okay. So your clinical mentor is responsible to assign patient to you, but in any event, if you request your patient, Sister Wan Fatiha from the clinical unit also can assign the patient to you. But most of the time, clinical mentor will assign the patient to you too. But Sister Fatiha will help them out with this, okay? All right, so we have done the patient management. Okay. Um, we are now going to do billing. Okay, the billing module, we only appear, it will appear here to you. Here is only the charges. Okay, so if you click the charge schedule, is the charges that we give to our patients. So if you look at the name of the charges, we have about 700 something, 720 types of charges. Okay, and then you can see the column on the right side. Student, DO, PG, and Pro. Student means undergraduate student. DO is dental officers. PG is postgraduate. Pro is lecturer professionals. Okay, so you will see these four different types of users that can charge patient. We have other type of users as well, which is like DSA, what we call DSA. We have dental nurses. So they don't have these charges because they cannot drop the charge to the patient. Only these four providers can drop. Okay, the charge or can charge the patient. All right. So you can, if the patient asks you, doctor, how much, how much the root canal cost me. Okay, so you can type RCT or root canal, endodontics. Then the endodontic section will appear pertinent to endodontic. So you can search around here. Okay. Yeah, so now it's called surgical endo. If you can put a root canal, maybe root canal, I think. Root canal or root debridement. And you can play around with this with this item test. You can play around. You don't if you make mistake, that's fine because this is only for the training. So you can play around whatever you want to do. All right. So sekarang ni you can see, if I put root is a root debridement for perio. Okay. If the patient says I need to know am I eligible for fee waiver, you can click the button here, fee waiver info. So if you click the fee waiver info, it will shows you who will get the fee waiver. For example, in the interest of dental student, for the Faculty of Dentistry UITM student, okay, regardless of undergraduate or postgraduate, you will get 100% waiver for materials and 100% for service. So all our fees will come with both fees, materials and service. So if the material is 10 ringgit, service is 10 ringgit, then the total treatment cost will be 20 ringgit, right? 20 ringgit. But if you get 100% waiver for materials and 100% for service, it will be 0 ringgit. So you don't have to pay anything. Okay. So if the patient is OKU card holder, they don't have to pay anything too. If they are patient under the age of 16 and below, they are also free. However, please do take note that the special notes down here, fee exemption other than mentioned above shall be requested through fee waiver application and subject to approval. So if in any event patient would like to request for exemption, they have to fill up the application form, okay, from the clinical office, and usually they takes time to be approved. Okay, so just be aware of that. For research, usually you need to have a grant. For the treatment under the Schedule 8 orthodontics and also under the dental lab is not exempted, even though it says 100% exempted. For braces, you still need to pay. There's no waiver for braces from orthodontic or anything from the dental lab. Okay, so no waiver given for any orthodontic treatment and also for cases that have dental lab service. All right, for example, if the patient is OKU, if the patient is OKU, um, they want to do denture. Okay, they want to do denture. So we have denture charge for the clinic and denture charge for the lab if you do the lab inside the UITM. So for the clinic, they will have 100% discounted fees. But for the lab work of the denture, there will be another charge for the lab work. Then they have to pay. Okay, they have to pay. So except for treatment under Schedule 8, orthodontics, and Schedule number 12, which is dental lab, there is no waiver. So they still need to pay the dental lab. Okay, everyone got it? Postgrad, if you want to ask, you can ask, please. Okay. Um, so you can view this later on to study who gets the exemption, who doesn't, okay? Because your patient might ask you questions, okay? All right. Now let's move on to okay, the logbook is pretty straightforward. Most of you have used the logbook. So for the clinical courses, you can find logbook for clinical courses all there. We have opened up the clinical courses. You can use all the logbooks that are available right now. Once you start your patient, start seeing your patient, you can start using the logbooks. Okay. All right, so let's look at the patient records. Okay, I'm going to choose one patient. Assign patient. First, tolong sign in patient. Maybe we can choose Marzifa 015781. Okay, so I'm just going to open one patient. Okay, if the patient is assigned to you, you can open this type of record. Okay, so you can open up this type of record. You can see the menu up here. They have patient profile, appointment, END, progress notes, billing, logbook record, referral, preventive, and prosthetic. All right. And then you can see this is a patient profile page. So it should be, if the patient has photo, there are two things that might happen. If the patient have photo here, the patient could be the staff of UITM or the patient is student of UITM. Okay. Um, Later on, we will enable the patient to we can upload the patient face, but we have to figure it out how to do that in the first place because that will take so much of space in the system. Okay, so in the patient page, you will see the name of your patient, and later on we will improve. We might have to put the gelaran below the name. Okay, we have billing remark. If the patient ada hutang, if they owe us something, it will come up here, balance due. So usually when the patient comes to register, if the counter staff sees that there is a balance due, the counter staff will ask them to pay first at the um, reception counter, okay, or at the bendaharis counter. So they will go and pay the bendaharis counter, then only they can register them, okay. And then you can have gender, ethnic, religion, nationality. Please do update especially for their phone number and email. We are going to communicate with our patient with email. So later on, you can update their email. Their email is down here. So we will change later on. This personnel will be contacts, okay? Contacts. So you will see all the contacts here. You will see some slight improvement of our system later on, but for the time being, this is what we have. Religion, you can, if you can edit religion, you can ask your patient religion and put Islam or whatever. Nationality, usually you will know from the IC number. So if they have IC, usually it's citizen or PR, permanent residence, okay? And patient type is dictated by patient type is dictated by the Sapphire staff in dental offices in Sapphire Clinic. Okay, for date of birth, normally if we have put up the IC number or date of birth somewhere, it will shows up here. Okay, but this patient we haven't put it up, so you can put it up here. And then got age. Age will appear once you letak the date of birth. Okay, the age will appear if you letak date of birth. For example, now I letak uh, 2000. Okay, so here save. So the age of patient now is 15 years old. Okay, um, if your patient is OKU, you might want to put something, choose what type of OKU are they. This is based on the Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat category. So you can choose one of these, okay? And then waiver type is dictated by the counter staff. Individual income is actually when they come, we will ask them, the patient, in what range of individual. This is for the research purposes, okay? So because we are academic and research institution, so we need to sum all the data for research purposes, not to sell their data, okay? So the personnel, you can update their email later on, okay? Please do update email of your patient all the time, okay? And then also the phone number. And then relatives, if the patient has relatives, um, emergency contact, please do put the emergency contact for your patients. If the patient is children, you can put their parents here. Actually, the counter staff will put the parents, spouse, children, or others. And you can put by add new relative here. So you can do this on your own as well. Okay. All right. Okay, on this page as well, you can see their COVID-19 vaccination status. You can see here, staff counter will put it up here once they come to register. Normally, you will see some data over here. Okay, now let's go to the appointment. Okay, this is the appointment for your patient. If you want to make appointment, click new appointment. Okay, and it will shows you the date, session, provider. Provider is automatically based on the account that you are using. Name also based on the record that you are using. You only need to make sure the date is correct. The session, either 8 or 9, 10, 11, just choose at 3 o'clock and select your dental chair number. You cannot book the same dental chair for the same time. You have to book a different time, okay? So this is just to avoid double booking of the dental chair. So for example, if you are located in Emerald, just type Emerald and everyone should know their own chair number. So if you are H2, Emerald H2, put it there. Remark is something that you need to tell the staff people, the counter staff, anything that is possible, or you want to remark to yourself. For example, patient need anti antibiotic prophylaxis. Patient to bring on his own. Okay, so you can just put that remarks and then submit. Yes, if you able to submit means it's okay. If the system reject your submission means that there's someone else have booked the same chair at the same time. Okay, same chair at the same time. So that is appointment. Okay, so that is appointment. Um, and you can see the list of appointment here. Okay, the list of appointment here. And the recall list, as I mentioned just now, recall list is something yang you buat for the patient that you have completed. Okay, so exactly the same as what I showed you just now. All right, so that is appointment. Okay, the biggest part here is the END. So if you look at the END, you have number 1 until number 10, and we have pediatric dentistry at the bottom there. So the first one is the vital signs. Okay, the vital signs, you need to add, if the patient has some medical illnesses, you can do the vital signs. If the patient is age of 40 years and above, please do some base under what we call this, the base reading. So if you have 40 years old and above patient, if they have zero or nothing here, please do add records, and you can put the weights. Let's say the weight 70, 5 is 170, pulse rate you can count on your own, you can put 78, blood pressure 130, blood pressure diastolic is 80, oxygen saturation, if you don't have, that's fine. If you have, you can put 98. Respiration rate usually rare for us to put, then you don't have to put. Blood glucose, yes, we recommend you to do blood glucose for the new patients, perhaps. Let's say 8, and then you click submit. Yes, save it. Then this charts will shows, okay, and this chart will shows. All right, so you will get this kind of chart to show, and it will calculate the BMI of the patient. So it will say normal range and so on. Okay, so this this vital sign is quite important for us to screen our patient whether they are healthy or not. Okay, so please do vital sign for all new patients, especially those who age of 40 years old and above and other medical illnesses. All right, let's move on. The next one is the consent. Okay, and if you click consent, there are 5 types of consent: general, minor surgery, orthodontics, nitrous, and refusal consent. For general, usually it's filled out by patient when they came here for the first time. So when they came the first time, usually patient akan pergi ke Sapphire Clinic with our dental officer. So usually dental officer will take the consent. So the general consent will look like this. If you click the general consent, okay, um, you all tak dapat tengok patient because in your items right now, you do not have patient to be assigned, right? So nanti kita orang akan assign so that you can play around, okay? So you will see something like this once you have patient assigned to you in your item test or other in your items training punya account. Alright, sign consent. When you click sign consent, ni akan appear, but you can choose language, either English or Bahasa Melayu. Let's say I choose Bahasa Melayu. Okay, and then sign consent. Oh, tak ada Bahasa Melayu lagi. Sekejap. Okay, sekejap ya. Bahasa Melayu. Oh, I think this environment tak. Okay, tak apa. Nanti kalau sepatutnya ada error sikit, kalau English, dia akan keluar macam ni. Sekejap ya. Okay, so jadi macam ni. So ni tempat untuk you sign, okay? So what the staff downstairs or dental officers akan show consent form. The patient baca, blah, 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 consent for examination, consent for photos, agreement on payment, patient brochure and all. So they can use their officer, dental officer, they have tablet. So they will show this one through the tablet and patient will sign dengan pen dia orang, and then the officer will sign kat sini, and the patient kat sini, dan terbaca kat atas, and then click submit. When the signature is submitted, then it will show something like this. We try to make sure that this one can be used for evidence or anything. So we will keep it here. If you want to print, you can click print here, but this one we just disable first, but you can just download it. Okay, you just can download it. So we don't have any print action direct to the printer at the moment. Okay, that is for the general consent. If you get a patient who doesn't have this informed consent yet, please do the informed consent. Sometimes they have missed this part. So please do informed consent before you begin the treatment. Okay. And then the next one is minor surgery. The same concept. If the patient wants to go for any oral surgery, any minor oral surgery, you can just do the sign consent here. Okay, and you can play around with this once you have been assigned a patient dalam iDeRMS. Okay, so you can try that. Maybe first boleh tolong start assign one patient to each. Okay, orthodontic fixed appliance usually PG ortho akan guna. Okay, PG ortho. Nitrous oxide usually PG pediatric and PG oral surgery akan guna nitrous oxide. Refusal consent. Refusal consent can be used for everyone. What does it really mean? What does it really mean is the patient refused to do treatment what you have suggested. For example, it's not the option, right? It's not the option, but it's the only treatment that you have suggested and patient refused. For example, patient has a loose tooth. Okay, patient has a loose tooth. So by right, the loose tooth is unsalvageable or untreated, or not suitable for treatment. Then we suggest to extract, but patient doesn't want. Okay, so what is the consequences of if we do not extract the tooth and patient doesn't want? So maybe later on patient will develop infection through the tooth. When the tooth is mobile, there's something wrong with the tooth or the supporting structures, maybe the perial problem, maybe also the endo problem, and they will generate some infection. If the patient is diabetic, the infection can get worse, can develop a very significant effect on the body, like, for example, osteomyelitis and all. So we can be blamed for that. So if we get the patient to sign this consent form, then we have approved that we have advised the patient to extract, tapi patient tak nak. Okay, so the patient can sign this informed refusal consent. Okay, informed refusal consent, so they can sign. All right, that's about consent. The history taking is your bread and butter here. So for the history taking, you can fill up the history taking. You can just enlarge this field for your convenience. Just type. When you type, do not forget to click the plus button. Okay, the button, I will save. Okay, let's say you have typed, but you forget something. You can type it again and add. So the system will keep the record when you do that, the time and the date. Okay, so you can keep filling out. For medical history, I suggest for you to put one medical history at one time. So for example, HPT, hypertension, put one. And then diabetes mellitus, type 2. Can put that. Okay, and then so does the medication put one at one time, metformin. Please put in detail, perhaps it's easier for us to dictate. Metformin 500 milligram BD. Okay, add new. So that's what you get, all right? You can put multiple medications as long as you want. Okay, allergies. Okay, allergies is very, very important. Normally, the type of allergies we are looking at is the allergies towards to the drugs or even materials that we are using in the dental clinic. For example, penicillin, the most common one. Excuse me, penicillin. Okay, penicillin. Okay, penicillin, add new. When you add new here, Okay, when you add new here, it will register the allergies, and this medical alert at the top here will shows up. Okay, when you run through with your browser, and it will explain to you what is the medical alert. You have to click. You have to give a single click, and then you will see medical history, medication, allergies, dental history, penicillin. It will shows up here. Okay, so this patient is allergic to penicillin, or even you can put latex. Then you add new. Okay, and then later on you can click and one, and those two will shows up here in the medical alert. All right. Um, Next one is dental history, social history, family history. So this is all very easy for you to fill out. Um, and you just fill all this up. Okay. Then we go to the examination. Examination. This is quite a lot. Okay, most of the students are required to fill out general examination, carries risk assessment, blood score, bleeding score. If they have to go for periodontics, if they have prosthodontic, they have to fill out the prosthodontic. You have orthodontics. Usually PG ortho and PG prosto will fill out this one too. And then PG or undergraduate endodontics will fill out this one too. Okay. For the specific discipline like prosto, ortho, and endo, I will not brief you that much because this one should be briefed by the relevant department. Okay. So I'm just going to show you the general. Okay, so the general is clinical examination. What you see in general, patient walk in alone, something like that. And then once you click, it will auto save. And then extra oral, you suka letak face is symmetrical. Okay, so you can do that. And then leave notes, whatever it is, you can put all those details. Okay, side of complaint, you can put side of complaint, what is going on with the extra oral one. This is for the extra oral. Okay, we will disable this vital because we already have vital dekat, what we call this, dekat tempat patient profile tadi. No, vital sign here. Okay, so we will try to disable this one later on. And then blood score is actually what you have done in the blood score here. Oral hygiene, you can put it oral hygiene and BPEs. Okay. And then the next one is caries risk assessment. You can play around with the caries risk assessment. This one is very important for you to do because you have to bring the patient to DHE and you have to fill this up before you go there, right? So you can just play around with this DHE, and once you have done that, you can click submit button here. Same goes for the blood score. Okay, an important message for you is for the blood score, please do the odontogram before you do the blood score and bleeding score, because once you want to do the blood score, you will click add new blood score. It will generate from the odontogram that you have. So by right, if the patient is adult, they don't have the deciduous teeth anymore, right? So you in the odontogram, you will disable, you will say all what we call this, all deciduous teeth are missing. Tak ada dah. So you will, when you click here, it will calculate the whole number of teeth. Kalau you tak disablekan yang ni, dia akan calculate juga deciduous. So your calculation will lari, okay? Will lari. So make sure you complete your odontogram first before you do the blood score and bleeding score. Okay, so click save to submit. Then it will come out here and your lecturer need to approve. Now you can see the QR code again. So you can just print screen your QR code, or you can just show to your lecturer their QR code so that they can approve by their own handphone. Okay, and the same technique for bleeding score, you have to do the same thing. Okay, okay, for prosthodontic, you will see occlusal analysis, removable prostos. Okay, so your the what we call this, the prosto department will show you how to use this. Okay, for orthodontic, same thing. Orthodontic is more easier in a way that you have only one form, whereas prosthodontic ada 3 atau 4 form. For the orthodontic, you can see all the way here. please do play around, and they also have the QR code to be approved. Okay. And then we have endodontics. Endodontic is a bit tricky because you have to do a few steps. Okay, endodontic is a bit tricky. Let me click endodontics. Okay, so for endodontics, you have to add new and then choose what tooth number, let's say 15, and submit. Okay, once you submit, you need to add restorability assessment. Before you even do, your lecturer will verify whether the tooth is restorable or not. So please add. So your lecturer will say yes or no. Submit yes. Once you submit yes, then only we will open up other forms. So lecturer will approve first. First, lecturer will approve your restorability. Kalau lecturer dah approve, nanti dia akan keluar a new form, a new form, yes, for you to use. Okay, so I cannot do that right now. Okay, and then the next one is dental charting. This is the odontogram that I mentioned to you. So go to the general iCDAS. So make sure that if the patient is an adult and the adult patient does not have any deciduous teeth, you can just click, okay, and choose other tooth extracted for reason other than caries or tooth extracted because of caries. This is iCDAS code, right? So if you do that, terus dia akan jadi auto like that and submit. So this one is gone. So you can do that. Okay. Unfortunately, you have to do one by one. You cannot select all and do once. Okay. So if you have, for example, here, you put occlusal. Okay. The tooth has a similar code for various surface, distal. This one you can do all together, mesial for the same tooth. Okay. And restorability, maybe you can put tooth color restoration, caries code sound 30, other condition none. Or maybe you can put a bit of the attrition there because of the occlusal and submit. And then the color shows up and the record here will shows up too, based on the surface and tooth. So kalau tooth tu ada 6 surface yang affected or ada different codes or ada similar codes, it will appear 6 surfaces. Ada 5 surfaces, 5 surfaces, alright? So that's how you're going to do. Okay, and please do take note that this charting can have multiple. If you want to add the new chart, you can just add chart here. Okay, when you add the chart, you will generate the older chart. Okay, so maksudnya you can edit the newer chart. You can just click here, delete. Pasal sometimes kalau tools ni mula-mulanya ada composite, but now you nak extract, so you can delete. 4.6, 4.6. Okay, you delete, and then you change to the different iCDAS code for the new odontogram. But you cannot delete the older odontogram. Okay, that is for the dental record. For example, dental record is very, very important for our postmortem. Okay, so if, for example, the landslide just happened in Batang Kali, some dentists, some specialists, apa orang panggil tu? Forensic dental odontology forensic has been called to identify the bodies. So usually they will see the odontogram from the clinic that the patient went to. So it's very important for you to have this. Okay, so that is for general iCDAS, and then we have perio. Okay, perio is a bit more interesting. You can see there's a lot of information that you can put in. Please do play around with the what we call this perio. If you click somewhere, let's say if I click here at implant, kan dia akan jadi implant. Yes. All right, and then if you put furcation, mana dah? Okay, there. Okay, that is the different type of furcations, right? Type 1, type 2, type 3. Okay, and then VOP, You can do that. Yeah, that is POP and plug. So you can just play around with that. Okay, let's play around, and that's mandibular. All right. The next one is investigation. We don't have oral mucosa aphasia yet. Okay, for the investigation radiology, now you will see this button, request radiology examination. However, if patient have not registered yet, you cannot see this request radiology button because our patient has been registered here. Patient datang dekat counter register, you can see the request radiology examination. Okay, so when you have this button, you can click, fill up urgent or not. Patient ladies, untuk ladies jangan lelaki pula. Kalau patient yang ladies, tanya patient pregnant ke tak. Kalau tak pregnant, no. Isolation precaution ni kalau dia ada tuberculosis ataupun TB ataupun something yang need isolation, okay, macam patient yang suka autism, yang suka meracau, yang tak boleh ada orang, then you click yes. So maybe you can click autism yang tak boleh tengok orang ke, autism yang severe, right? Or patient yang tuberculosis. Alright. Allergies, yes or no. This is very important for those yang nak buat contrast. Medical leave transfer, non required. Transportation, usually kalau patient walk in, you just click ambulatory. Okay, ambulatory. For postgraduate or undergraduate, sometimes you do a research study, you need to put ethics approval here, fee exemption, yes or no, and specify. Clinical summary, you have to put a brief clinical summary, what's going on with the patient, why you need to take the x-ray, and then anatomy, region of interest, maxilla or mandible, you can click both if you want. Differential diagnosis, you can put differential diagnosis why what you're looking at. And then previous imaging is like if the patient has radiology images at our facility or not. So it's click yes or no. Okay. And then what you want to do, the diagnostic objective is it for impacted tooth evaluation? Kalau impacted tooth evaluation, you need to put OPG. So you click the radiograph type down here, requested procedure, diagnostic imaging, extraoral, lateral or lateral block. OPG here. Yes, OPG. So app. Tu dah satu dah ada dah. Kalau nak buat yang lain, you can tambah lateral side. For ortho, they will have two. Okay. And then special note. If you have any special notes, you just put that and then submit. Or required. Kat mana lagi? Ni differential diagnosis. You letak infected. Infected 3. Brief clinical summary pun you kena letak juga. Where the stars tu, yang merah tu, you have to fill up. Okay. Please try again. Kat mana lagi ni? Oh. Sekejap. Supposedly to be okay. Just I delete this one dulu. Submit. Okay, there's something wrong. That usually it should be okay. Okay, should be okay. But you try that one. Okay, now we're going to go to histopathology, the similar concept of histopathology. However, for histopathology, you need to have the biopsy procedure in the treatment plan. You will know what treatment plan is later on, okay? So before you, the similar thing, add new button will appear if the patient is registered or treatment sign in, okay? If the patient is around, then you can add new, okay? So when you click add new, you fill out the usual, tapi this part, the clinical procedures will not shows up anything if you do not put biopsy in the treatment plan ataupun smear in the treatment plan. Okay, so we have few treatment procedures that we have to put that it will appear here when it has been put up in the treatment plan. Okay, the rest you can fill out and then you can click submit. You can draw. Even here you can draw. Pathologists love to see your drawings. So maybe you can just draw the lesion here. You can choose the color. You want to draw something like that, and then you can label. So you label 3 centimeter or something like that. Okay, I'm using mouse, so yeah, so that's what you can do. And then pulp sensibility test is what you can do for every single tooth. If you want, then just fill out this one. Okay, so play around again with this pulp sensibility test. Problem list is please insert all problems that the patient has. For example, tooth 46 IC DAS 50 at new. Okay, and then crowding, low arch, you can add new. Okay, so that's how you put the problem list. And then diagnosis also, please put based on your problem list. Okay, you just put the prognosis. Okay, when it comes to treatment plan, it's very important. This patient already have treatment plan. Okay, if you want to add a treatment plan, click add treatment plan. The plan type definitive, temporary, or emergency. And then, for example, we want to do definitive, definitely, and tooth number 11. For example, we want to do the porcelain fused metal. So we go to the prosthodontic. Once you selected the prosthodontic, the treatment will list for only prosthodontic. So when you click here, choose. This is excluding laboratory fees. Okay, excluding laboratory fees. So for example, you want to do PFM, porcelain fused to metal. Okay, PFM, non-precious metal, simple. You just put that. And if you have remark, you can put remark. If you don't, then you don't have to. Then click submit. For student and dental undergraduate or postgraduate student, the approve button will come out here. Once again, your lecturer can approve. Okay, so you click the approve button, and lecturer you can approve. So usually you will show this in the clinic. Lecturer will use their phone, okay, or they can just enter from their account as well. Approve one by one. Okay, so that's what you do. And you will see the highlighted one here. Here is the purple STD, bukan sexual transmitted disease, but student. Okay, so this price is list out for student. Normally, student doesn't have any fees created by who. Okay, created by who. And the status now is plan only, tak approve lagi. Once I approvekan, dia akan jadi approve button like this. So once you have approved, you can start the treatment. If you're not approved plan, you cannot do the treatment until it has been approved by your supervisor, okay, in the clinic. All right. And you can see remove button here. If the supervisor hasn't approved, but you mistakenly put up here, you can just click remove button. Okay. So the one I just put up right now is the approve here. So if I log in through my iDeRMS, my own account, I can approve yours or using my handphone as a lecturer. Okay, as a lecturer or as a supervisor, I can do that. Okay, that is the treatment plan. You can see the price, you can see the status, an action, and the procedures. And you can play around here. You normally your supervisors would like to see the priority. What is at the top? What is at the bottom? The top means it has to do first. The bottom one is the last one to do. So you can play around with this. The arrow. So it will bring the first one to the top. Let's say I want to bring the PFM to the top. I can just press this one all the way to the top. Okay, sila. Usually it works going up, tapi tak naik pula. Contohnya you can do that. Debonding. Oh, tak naik yang ni. Okay, tak apa. Nanti kita tengok balik, sepatutnya dia akan naik ikut priority. Okay, so you have to susun ikut priority. Kalau the actual item boleh, cuma item test dia tak boleh sekarang. Alright, so that is the treatment plan. Okay, for the photo gallery, you can add photo based on the treatment. Usually, we will use whatever treatment that pertaining to the photo. For example, fixed appliance auto, day, you letak today, whatever that you like, and we can choose the template. Kalau ortho ada orthodontic 1, ortho cast study model. Prosto pun ada facial profile, ortho before and after, oral mucosa, and general. So if you choose ortho before and after, submit. Okay, and you can view photo if it does submit. So this template will come out. This is before and after. If you don't have this one, um, I mean, you can select the template that you want. Okay, the template that you want. Kejap. All right, next one. Yeah, or if you want to upload, you can just click upload photo here. Okay, so please do play around with this photo. Okay, the next one, we have finished END. Tapi pediatric will be explained by your pediatric lecturers. Okay, this is for the traumatology for now. We have the pediatric traumatology. So I think your pediatricians, dental pediatrician will explain to you. Okay, let's go to the next important one, which is the progress notes. Okay, you have to write progress note within 72 hours of the appointment. Okay, you cannot do anything in the progress note if the patient is not registered and treatment signed in. So when the patient comes for the appointment and they registered at the counter, this button will shows up, sign in patient. Okay, once you click this sign in patient, you baru boleh guna the progress note. The rest you boleh guna anytime. For example, END you can use for history taking, you can enter the history taking anytime without patient sign in. But for the progress note, yes, you have to sign in. Okay, so once you click the sign in button here, yes, then you can use this progress note. Okay, for example, patient come today for uh, treatment plan here. Okay, you can see if you click here, previous note, you can read the previous note, okay, written by the previous students by yourself. You can see that, okay, this is for example, this is the, what we call this, previous notes, okay. So, the status is P plan, masih tak bertukar jadi complete, okay. So, sekarang ni, if you look at the treatment plan here on the side, you can see this is the treatment plan from the treatment plan page just now, but you can see this button. Okay, yeah, this button is when you click this button, you can keluar add button to the progress note. Tapi yang ni tak keluar because dah siap, approve. Okay, sepatutnya dah siap ni. Okay, kalau you ada foto, you pilih foto, you can click the photo, view photo here. You can see the patient's photo just now. Okay. Alright, so if the patient completed like this, you tengok completed, means that the patient has completed the treatment and you cannot do anything dah. You tak boleh ubah apa-apa. But if it is not approved by your lecturer, you dah bubur-bubur, tapi your lecturer has not approved, the status will come as planned only. So you cannot do anything. Yang kita nak is patient has been approved, then dia keluar action button like this, add to progress notes. Okay. Pas, cuba tambah sikit ke progress note. Tambahkan treatment plan. So when you ada treatment plan yang dah approve, it will shows up in the action box here, drop down menu like this. Okay. Okay, let me share. Okay, dah boleh keluar ke? Sekejap I want to make it smaller. Tak boleh lah Fas. Sepatutnya boleh add to progress notes. Cuba tambah yang lain Fas. Okay, once kita tambah yang lain, kita tengok nanti. But while Kak Fas buat benda tu, I nak tunjuk benda lain dulu. So e-logbook record, we have undergraduate and postgraduate. So undergraduate students can have this selected logbook. Okay, so for Kairin, this account that I'm using, we will see this patient is assigned to you. So this one is not much of a help for you, but for us, yes. Okay. Okay, let's go back to progress notes. Kalau dah boleh buat guna. Okay, treatment plan. Boleh juga. Bila I dah add to progress note button ini, dia akan keluar dekat procedures here. Can you guys see procedures here? Okay, so it will say all the procedures here, full bonding, both arch, full metal, simple. And then the price also keluar dekat sini, harga dia RM110 campur RM1,890. And who added this one is the user. So nama users kat sini. Okay, so you can start, once you add up here, you can start this. Do not forget to click the plus button here to save. Kalau you tak click the plus button, it will not be saved. Okay, and okay, kejap ya. I click save. Oh, okay, the approval treatment plan. Okay, kejap ya. Okay, I'm just gonna refresh for a while. Okay. Okay. Satu treatment approve, I nak show you. If you click this button, has add to progress note. If you click the add progress note, ni lecturer dah approve dia akan keluar like this, and click add to progress notes, then it will keluar macam ni. Okay. Alright. Porcelain bonded to metal, you tulis. And after you're done with the writing, click the plus button and it will save. For treatment yang tidak siap dalam masa satu hari, dalam masa satu appointment, okay, you have to click as set incomplete. Ini cancel pula, tak ada incomplete lepas. Cancel approve. Yang ni cancel approve. Okay, usually kalau in item, the actual item they will have incomplete procedure. Kalau complete procedure maksudnya you dah siap, and kalau patient tu kena charge, patient will be charged upon completion. So if you click complete procedure, patient akan charge and you cannot do anything anymore here. Maksudnya benda tu dah siap. Okay. Kalau patient tu tak siap lagi, progress payment. Maksudnya, progress payment. Progress payment ni for patient yang kena bayar month by month. For example, auto, every time dia datang untuk buat braces, dia kena bayar 100. So post-grad, normally dia akan klik progress payment. And they can tulis charges berapa dia nak. Okay. So kalau ni patient ni dah kosong-kosong, dia tak payah buat payment lah. Kita akan tulis bayar berapa? 200 for the service, 200, 2,200 lah. Tapi kalau sistem tak register, maksudnya patient tu tak payah bayar. Pasal dekat sini, the price actually zero. Kan? Bila you click je, tak boleh because dah memang free. So kalau dah memang free, kalau dia dah siap, you just complete procedure. Bila complete procedure, dekat sini akan tukar C. Okay, C complete. If it's already changed to C, patient, if they have payment, they will have need to pay, and you cannot alter anymore the treatment. Okay, when that is done, it's completed. Alright, so kalau ada treatment dekat atas ni, you can just add. Okay, right there. And kalau you tersilap masuk, you can click cancel. Okay, then you will delete from there. Alright. Nanti dia delete. Sekejap still ada. Yang rasanya ada problem sikit ni. Okay, anyway. So that is, dah hilang. That is the progress notes. Okay. If you want to prescribe drugs, so click the button here. I will show you. Click add work order dalam kurungan drugs. Okay. So click add work order and select the available drugs in our pharmacy. So they keep this list up to date. So whatever you see here, they would have in our pharmacy. Okay, so you can order whatever here. But for dental students, undergraduate, you need, once you order this one, you need approval from your lecturer. Okay, so you can put 200 milligram, TDS, duration 1 week, and then you can spell out for the learning purposes, you can put somewhere here, that metro, idazole, 200 milligram, for example, TDS 1/52, which is 1 week. And you have to fill out everything here, including your extension number, clinic extension number, and submit. Once you submit, your lecturer will need to approve this one. So approve with QR code. Okay, Approve with QR code. Okay, that is for the at work order, which is drugs. Okay, so I have explained to you pretty much everything here. Um, yang lain all done. Next one is e-logbook, sorry, referral. We almost done. Referral. Kejap ya. Okay, the next one is referral. This one, if you want to refer patient inside or outside. So if I press internal referral, this one will come out. And then if I press external referral, this one will come out. Okay, so for internal referral, um, choose refer to whom, to where? Undergraduate clinic, postgraduate primary care, specialist clinic, or undergraduate clinic. If undergraduate clinic, you set the patient type, or you want to refer for oral surgery or whatever it is, you just select. And then if you have the provider name, you can put the provider name. And then reason for referral, you have to put reason for referral. Please see this patient for ICDAS 5-6, like that. Submit patient, and it will appear here. Okay, it will appear here. This one you can show you the contour. When the status pending means the patient is awaiting for the assignment to the new student, if you're referring to the new student, or if it shows here assigned means that the referral has been assigned. The patient has been assigned to the new student that being referred. New student or new lecturer or postgraduate. Okay, so it has been there. Okay, so that is about referral. Kalau referral letter external, you have to fill out everything here. Whatever it is, your lecturer might want to ask or might want to see what you have done here. So you just write everything here, and then generate referral letter. Click general letter there, and it will shows up in the list here. Okay, it will show up in the list here, and you can email to the relevant clinics ataupun you can print. Okay, some clinic receive, they're allowed to receive email. Some clinic they still prefer the old way. Okay, or they prefer the email. Okay, tak dapat generate hari ni. Okay, belum. Okay, kalau you generate akan jadi PDF down here. It will shows you the PDF. So later on you can play around with this. All right, that is a referral. And then preventive. Preventive will be taught by your lecturers in the community dentistry. So they have tobacco cessation and they have diet. So you can, for tobacco cessation, you can fill out this all the way. Please do play around nanti. And diet. Okay, add diet. This one you can tengok view. Okay, so you have to fill out day 1 until day 5. That's the diet. Okay, we have not launched the prosthetic yet. Later on, we will launch. You need to use this prosthetic punya form to send your lab work to the lab. Okay, so for patient profile, appointment, ENT, progress note, and e-logbook record has been, referral, preventive. I explained to all of you today. Okay, you need to play around with this iDeRMS test. Okay, you just do crazy things, and we will assign the patient to you soon, and you will get. I think some of you dah dapat patient baru. Kalau dapat, you can terus main. Okay, whatever you want to do before you enter the clinic. All right, is it okay? Any questions so far from you, students? Kat chat ada orang tanya tak? Please fill out the attendance form for tonight as well. Ada kat chat ada link to the chat, link to the attendance list. Okay, students, undergraduate and postgraduate, do you have any questions tonight? No question. Okay. Kalau tak ada, let us know if you have not got your patient by next 2 days. We try to assign to you patient, so everyone will get at least one patient in your item test. So use your credentials that you just did tonight so that you can play around for your patient. So I suggest before you begin your patients, please do play around, especially masa cuti nanti, you boleh access dia dekat rumah, wherever you are masa cuti nanti. Okay? So please play around with these items. Okay. If ada question, last call for any questions. No. All right. Kalau tak ada, that's all for tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight. And if you need the records, I will try to share with you our session, recorded session for tonight. Thank you, everyone. Assalamualaikum, and have a good night.
Thank you, Doctor.
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 Welcome.